Project management tools. Who uses a project management tool? I do. I use Asana. I used to use Trello. I absolutely love a project management tool. And in today's episode, I tell you why. If you don't use a project management tool, please do listen. It will support you. Hello, you're listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. This podcast is for high-achieving, courageous women who want growth and the know-how to scale their business online. Running a business is a journey and a process. The more we learn in action, the more we succeed. If you're a woman in business, this is the podcast for you. Be in the 5% of businesses that make it. Let's get bold and create the life we desire. I'm bringing my passion to you through advice, coaching, inspiration, and support to help you create and design the life and business you want to live. I am a Dubsado expert, CPD certified in social media platforms, and a lover of admin systems and processes. I am an accredited ICF coach, specialising in trauma and narcissism. My own coaching journey has supported my growth immensely, and I want to share those highlights with you to inspire and give you courage. Let's get intentional with our goals and make them happen. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Courageous Goals podcast. Today I'd like to talk to you about why I love a project management tool. A lot of you know I am extremely organised and I always talk about it. I'm highly organised. I love everything, having a process, having a place, having things automated, streamlined, the whole thing. I love organisation. And a project management tool really allows you to be organised. For the majority of my business entrepreneurial life, I have used Trello, which is a fantastic project management tool. It really is. And it's displayed in a board lookout, which is brilliant. You can change various ways that you look at it. However, I have recently moved everything to Asana. I did use Asana a few years ago and I loved it at the time, but I just felt it wasn't quite right for me then. However, now I feel like it is. It's like that one step up personally for Trello. A project management tool can really define and give you a process for the little things that you do, especially if you're a person in business. It can really help you organize your projects so that you don't miss any deadline dates. It can stop you wasting time, it can really help you in lots of different ways. If you have a small team or even a big team, it's a really good way to communicate with different departments, different colleagues, or if you just have that one extra person that supports you, like a virtual assistant in your business, it's a really good way of communicating on certain projects. I'm guessing that you probably have like a meeting or another communication app for a way of talking with that person, maybe Slack or WhatsApp or something like that. But when you use a project management tool, you can really work on specific projects and tasks and update those people without having to call them or send them an email or something like that. And then you can know what stage you're at with projects. So I use Asana at the moment, and I use it in a way that I kind of give myself like different departments. So I've got like a business strategy department, I've got a marketing department, I've got a separate one for my podcast. I've got a separate task board for my free community on Facebook, for all my different projects and my courses. I've really broken things down so that I know where and when I need to work on certain things to get things done. And it also stops the overwhelm, because I don't know about you, but when you're in business, you wear so many different hats that it's really hard to keep track sometimes. And even someone like me who really truly is highly organized and a perfectionist, which I don't like, but I am managing that. Sometimes I am, and sometimes I just think, oh, what the hell, and I just let it go. Whatever it is, I'm just like, actually, I could do with not being a perfectionist today, and I will just put that aside. So for us business people who wear many hats, it's really good to break down all the different departments that you do running a business, because it's not as simple as, right, I'm going to work today, all my clients know I exist, they contact me when they need something, and Bob's your uncle, it's done. It doesn't work like that, does it? So if it did, it would be amazing, right? So there is different parts to our business. We've got an accounting section, we've got marketing, and that is huge. Your marketing of your business is huge. You've got social media, you've got email marketing, you've got a podcast if you have one, you might write a blog, you might be a guest for other people's blogs or podcasts, or write articles, or all these different things. There's just so many different departments, so we really need to keep track of them. So I'm a huge advocate for getting things really streamlined, having a process and planning in place makes things so much easier. It saves you time, and at the end of the day, you can switch off from your business. Even if something doesn't get done, you can potentially head over to that task, set a date for, actually, I want it done by this date. And then you can slowly see in your tasks where that task is growing up the list, because the date is getting closer. And for me, as I've said before, I'm very visual. So looking at my tasks as a list, knowing I've got a deadline date for when I want to get these things done, it really helps me, because on a Monday, I have a day where I spend time on my business and on my admin, like my own business. And that's where I get things done, like recording podcasts and any marketing that I do, any admin I do. Usually my social media gets done also. Some of them I do leave till last minute, but I have regular things going out also. And then I also plan my goals for the week, for the day, for the few months ahead. So I really have like a huge business strategy in place, and it's all in a project management tool called Asana. And it's hugely worth spending that little bit of time to find a project management tool that really works for you, and using it in the best way that suits you. Everybody does it differently. You may decide that Asana isn't for you. If it's not, there are others that you might love. So I used to use Trello. That was brilliant for me at the time. I've also used Monday.com. I used that with a previous client, and I absolutely love the look of Monday.com. It's colourful, and I love colour. In addition, there's a newer one called ClickUp that's been around for a while now. I did trial it, but I was more of a Asana person. I couldn't quite make the leap to ClickUp. It was Asana for me. I just knew that it was the right one. So now, everything has moved from Trello into Asana, and it is brilliant, honestly. So there's various ways that you can use it. For each board, you have an overview of what that board is about. You can view it in a list way, in a board way. You can see the timeline, you can see a calendar, depending if you've got a free version or a paid version. There's lots of different things that you can do with it. And like I said before, you can talk with other people. If you've got someone that works for you, or several people, everyone can see where projects are, if they're up to date, if anything needs changing. Potentially if you've got something that kind of works with a different department. So my podcast kind of comes under marketing, but it has a separate board. So I have my podcasts, so my episodes that need recording, and they're on a list. The date is getting closer and closer. So I end up actually putting them on both boards, marketing and podcast, so that I know that they're in place, that I need to create an email in addition so that people get notified of when the podcast episode is released. There's really so much you can do, and you can really design it in a way that works for you. This also works really well with time blocking. You would have heard I talk about time blocking a lot, especially lately, probably because I've got a workshop coming up in December. So time blocking is really on my mind at the moment. But again, managing your projects in Asana that coincide with your time blocking, because you know when you've allowed time on certain things that are all in their place in your project management tool, which then works with your calendar. So you can see there's this whole process that I've got where all of these things all work together to avoid overwhelm and to keep you organised to manage your business. Me as a person, I love this sort of thing, so it's totally like right up my street, and I find it easy. I love planning, so I really I encourage you to just give it a go. If it's not something you normally do, give it a go and just see what works for you. But yeah, everybody is different. So you might find it works, you might find it doesn't work, but just try various different tools. As I said, there's so many out there. There's more than what I've said. And yeah, just give it a go. So if I can help at all, please do let me know. So I'd like to let you know that there is a time blocking free resource that you can download. The link is in the show notes. In addition, there is a time blocking workshop coming up in December. So if you'd like to learn how to time block and actually implement the steps, that's the workshop for you. And in the future, I probably will be running some sort of workshop and have a free resource on project management tools, because every business owner should use one. I even actually used a project management tool before I had a business, but I feel like that should be a secret. I don't know why I'm telling you this, because it really helps to organise your life and keep track of everything you've got to do, especially when you've got children, you've got a family, and there's lots of different things that you need to keep track of and do. Yeah, but I'm a little bit geeky in the fact that I love organising and planning events and things and whatever. You know, I'm always the person that people go to when there's something to be organised, some sort of event or whatever, and they're like, Leanne, can you help with this? And I'm like, yes, I'd love to. So yes, I'm that person. I am the organiser. Okay, right. I shall drop the links in the show notes, and in the meantime, if you need any support, please head on over to the free Facebook community, and there is support in there for you. Thank you so much for listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode and taken something of value for you. If you'd love more advice, coaching, inspiration and support, head on over to join many other courageous women in business in our free community group over on Facebook. We'd love to welcome you. You can also find free useful resources over on the website at leannebrown.com/resources. Right, that's all for this week. I look forward to sharing another episode with you next week.